Hello and welcome back to my channel. Dinar and Dong updates. Major financial movement. Unfolding quietly. The Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong revaluation signals. You're not being told about. There's a quiet transformation happening within the global financial system, one that's evading the headlines and escaping even seasoned analysts. It's not being discussed on major financial news networks, not being shared at your neighborhood bank, and it's certainly not trending in the typical economic forums. But if you've been paying close attention, looking at the subtle but significant clues, then you might already suspect that the long-anticipated revaluation, RV, of select global currencies, particularly the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and Vietnamese Dong, VND, may already be underway, concealed just enough to avoid public disruption. This isn't speculation. It's not driven by online rumors or vague insider chatter. Today's discussion is centered on real developments, technical shifts, documented financial procedures, and institutional readiness that are quietly occurring within the highest levels of banking infrastructure. Let's explore the three most compelling indicators that suggest we are already within the window of a quiet but massive financial restructuring. Indicator number 1. Anomalies and outages in currency trading platforms. Over the past 2 months, a peculiar series of events has taken place within the world of private Forex systems and institutional currency trading software. These systems, used exclusively by major banks, financial houses, and elite trading desks, are normally rock solid. Yet they've recently experienced unusual behavior. Unexpected downtime, rate recalibration, and inconsistent data flashes, all centering on exotic currencies like the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. There have been multiple instances of sudden maintenance events across Tier 1 banking platforms and digital currency interfaces. These disruptions mostly occur during off-peak hours, times often chosen for system updates when traffic is low, and the risk of public discovery is minimal. While outages themselves may not seem shocking, it's what has been observed during these interruptions that truly stands out. In more than a few of these incidents, exchange rates for currencies like the dinar briefly displayed unexpected values. Rates such as $3.71, $45, and $3.86 USD, before reverting back to their normal figures within minutes. To the average user, these may appear to be momentary glitches or test errors. But for those who understand how these financial systems operate, it's more likely a sign of live testing. Before a revaluation can be rolled out publicly, banks must ensure the new rates can process cleanly through their internal systems, without flagging compliance issues, tripping security alerts, or disrupting liquidity flow. These events are called rate synchronization trials. They mimic real-world conditions and allow developers and financial compliance officers to watch how the systems react. Such dry runs are a common procedure in financial circles before any major rollout. And their occurrence, especially this frequently, strongly suggests we are much closer to an official currency value shift than the public realizes. Indicator number 2. Internal bank memos and quiet training on exotic currency exchanges. Possibly even more compelling is the recent surge of activity within bank back offices. Internal communications and staff updates have been leaked from a variety of credible sources, showing that several major U.S. and international banks are preparing their teams for a major shift in the treatment of certain foreign currencies, namely the IQD and VND. Over the last 3 weeks, internal briefings, policy updates, and training materials have been distributed among foreign currency desks in banks such as Chase, Bank of America, and at least 2 large financial institutions in the Middle East. These updates specifically focus on revised guidelines for exchanging exotic currencies, including enhanced verification procedures, client segmentation protocols, and step-by-step handling processes for high-volume redemptions. One leaked memo referenced the need for frontline employees to prepare for sudden surges in interest regarding the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong. It outlined the requirement for wealth managers to redirect clients with large holdings to private exchange desks, bypassing general teller services. It also mentioned strict confidentiality agreements, structured payout options, and detailed authentication procedures. Now ask yourself, why would major banks update and train staff on how to handle currencies that supposedly hold no current value beyond their pegged rates? Why invest time, money, and institutional energy into preparing for something unless an actionable event is on the horizon? Banks operate on certainty, not guesswork. They don't alter protocols unless a change is already scheduled, or at minimum strongly anticipated. These updates point to operational readiness, not theoretical planning. And that should give every serious investor pause. Indicator number 3. Redemption centers being reactivated. Nationwide. To some, the concept of redemption centers might sound like myth or internet fiction. But those who have studied currency revaluation plans closely understand they are real. These centers, often coordinated through both banking institutions and government infrastructure, have been developed specifically to handle high volumes of exotic currency exchanges when the time comes. What's startling now is the sudden reactivation of these centers after years of dormancy. Across multiple U.S. states, particularly Florida, Nevada, Texas, and Arizona, credible reports indicate that previously idle redemption facilities are being brought back online. Employees and contractors who had been inactive for years are being recalled. Secure access procedures are being practiced. Equipment is being tested, from biometric scanners to encrypted rate sheets. These aren't basic training sessions. They are technical rehearsals involving high-level security, logistics, and coordination with armored transport providers. Couriers are reportedly delivering secure packets to branch locations, containing updated exchange rates under lock-and-key protocols. Confidentiality agreements are being renewed. Staff are being briefed on client routing and intake protocols. This level of activity is not preparation. It's execution. When redemption centers go hot, it means one thing. The timeline has already started. Even if public holders haven't been contacted yet, it's a strong indication that Tier 3 and Tier 4 redemptions are either underway or imminent. Why the silence? It's a fair question. If all of this is real and happening now, why isn't it being reported by the major financial media or acknowledged by government agencies? The answer lies in control. The revaluation of key world currencies would trigger a seismic shift in global economic power. It would affect national debts, investment strategies, central bank holdings, and geopolitical alliances. Such a movement cannot be handled recklessly or loudly. It must be executed with precision, caution, and layers of control. If this were announced prematurely, currencies could spike wildly. Retail investors might flood the markets, and massive shifts in global capital could destabilize key economies. That's why the institutions involved are opting for silence, containment, and highly selective disclosure. The infrastructure is being tested and rolled out in phases, first to insiders, then to vetted holders, and only later to the general public. What you should do. Right now, if you hold IQD or VND, if you're holding Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese dong, now is the time to act with intention and preparation, not panic. Here are 5 essential steps. 1. Verify your currency. Use ultraviolet light scanners, magnifiers for microprint detection, or certified dealers to ensure your notes are authentic. Only undamaged, verified bills will be accepted for exchange. Avoid handling or marking them unnecessarily. 2. Organize your documentation. Gather receipts, wire confirmations, digital purchase proofs, and any related financial statements showing your acquisition of the currency. Secure them in both digital and physical formats. You will also need 2 forms of identification, proof of residency, and potentially a currency declaration if your holdings are substantial. Third, plan your strategy. Decide whether you'll exchange at the publicly listed rate or attempt to qualify for a structured private contract. The latter can offer significantly higher returns, but often comes with conditions, such as non-disclosure agreements and requirements to invest part of your funds in humanitarian or economic development projects. 4. Build a professional advisory team. You will need trusted professionals who understand large asset exchanges. This includes a tax attorney familiar with currency events, a CPA to structure your income, and possibly a trust or estate planner. Do not attempt to manage a high-value redemption event without expert guidance. 5. Maintain absolute discretion. Avoid sharing details online or discussing your plans publicly. The best position is a quiet, informed one. If you're asked to sign an NDA, you'll be legally obligated to remain silent. So start practicing now. Online chatter could disqualify you or compromise your safety. Final thoughts. The time is short. We are no longer in the realm of possibility. The evidence points to quiet action already underway. Platform testing, bank training, and facility activations are not hypothetical. They are documented events, taking place across a global network of financial systems. The revaluation window isn't opening. It's already open for Forex.